let it flow. And if it's not right with this person, try to make sure you're acknowledging that whatever you had with that person is still something worthy and special and exists, even though it's not this headliner. We do that in cosplay. There has to come a time when you can see the forest for the trees, you try to see the forest for the trees, because we get caught so up on these little tiny details. I did that with Techo.
Mm-hmm.
I walked in there, and in my head was, gosh, I wish this had been different, and I wish I would have had time to make that work, and this thing fell apart before. And somehow on those escalators, it dawned on me, nobody else here knows that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else. According to all of them, I did a good job. Because they don't know all those things.
Because you as the artist are seeing the flaws.
Yeah, and even with cosplays that they know that character. Everybody knows that character.
But the issue with the ABDL community and littles in general is that they tend to keep that goal there no matter what. And as a little, I can actually say this because I've seen it with others and myself.
Yeah.
We hold that goal and we keep aiming for that headline.
Yeah.
Even when we end up in terrible relationships, even when we are with toxic people.
You will continue pushing those terrible relationships.
Because we believe that is the payoff at the end of the road. And I cannot tell you how many littles I've seen get fucking destroyed because of that. And it hurts. It's heartbreaking.
Yes. And my face is reflecting the thought that I had, which is, you can switch littles or ABDL out for literally everyone, because how many women stay in a relationship, and maybe if they just do a little more trying to get to this goal, maybe if they take care of their hair better, or they switch this up, or they change this about themselves, or they just take a little more abuse or whatever, they'll get to that goal. Eventually, maybe she wants kids, he doesn't. But that's okay. We want to eat the meal that we have rather than going to the store to buy something else. And so many people stay in a relationship long past when they should have, because they're not willing to do those checks and balances, and they fear the time already wasted. Like, they can't possibly say, well, I've wasted my time in this relationship. Stop it. No, it wasn't a waste. It's okay if it doesn't, if it doesn't maintain this stagnancy of exactly the same thing as how you guys met. It's not okay if not both of your needs are being met. And they don't both have to be being met all the time, but it does have to be equitable.
And that's the thing. It's just that, but they don't, a lot of people don't understand that. And there was a little I once talked to where she described this entire terrible relationship she had with her daddy Dom. And I was like, then why are you staying? And she's like, because, she's like, it's going to work out. It's going to get better. And I was like, it's not going to get better, honey.
Maybe if I get him this couples counseling section, and I'll read so that he's encouraged to also read in it. Yeah, my first husband had one of those given to us when he was about to ship out. Couples counseling, so it was really kind of stupid. It was like, so you're shipping out, kind of a thing. And it was meant to, he takes his stuff with him, I keep my stuff with me, we both work separately, and we come together for joint sessions to go over all of this stuff. And it's like, honestly, this really feels like I'm studying for a game show. It's weird. But when he shipped out, he didn't take his stuff with him. And I mentioned it to him, and he's like, oh, well, I figured you were going to take care of it. Couples. Obviously that relationship didn't last real long or anything. But it does take both, and too many people are so scared of being alone and not having that. The devil I know is better than an angel that might not exist. You know? At least it's a body. There's a song that I've been listening to a lot. It keeps popping up on my stuff, and it's kind of a lamentation, and she says, you know, tell the truth. Are we holding one another because we're scared to be alone tonight? And it's like, well, yes, I can agree with that. There are times where it's like, you know what? I'm freaking tired. I don't want to be alone. I spend enough time alone. And it's not a good thing for me to be alone because I am never alone. Okay? And these bitches be crazy. Don't tell them I said that. They'll key my car.
That's the truth about it. Yeah. And
I wish people would just admit that. Do you know how much respect I have for somebody that's just like, look, I know whatever we are is just whatever we are, but I just don't want to be alone. I just want somebody to hug me, and I just want to be held. Okay, bro. I'm there. We as humans do not get nearly enough physical touch. But two bros hugging is gay. Did you see the one the other day? Somebody, oh my God, I loved this. It was a post that, of course, I read into because it was petty and dramatic and I needed entertained. The whole post was somebody had put up on Twitter of, it's really unfair that Valentine's Day comes the day after the Super Bowl. Like, guys are supposed to be able to think about anything until that game is over. The comments on this were so good. Like, the first comment was from a female that said, I am so glad that my husband actually loves me and doesn't give two shits about sports ball. You know, so blah, blah, blah. And of course, the real man had to come out and let her know.
The real
you know, like, huh, that's not a husband. You married a wife, you know, or, you know, any of the toxic masculinity bull crap when they've been called out on something. And that was the first wave. The second wave was a resounding, we are the not nice gays that you failed to kill. Because it was like, just comments like, hey bro, is it gay to love your wife? It's like, oh no, let me think about it. Yes, I would much rather spend my afternoon and evening watching grown men in tight spandex and be sweaty, running all over the place, touching balls, slapping each other on the ass, and tackling one another to the ground.
Slap them on the ass.
Because,
good game!
Because like, that's not gay. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, but wait. I thought the whole goal in life was to be more gay. Well, somebody asked me once, like, could you be more gay? And I'm like, yes. Probably not. I have tried.
You can.
If you find a bar higher than where I'm at,
no, there's always.
I will use my go-go gadget legs.
For guys, I think there is a level of that because like there's jokes that I always make about like, I said there's gay and then there's flaming gay, and
yes.
and I was like, and then there's 5-alarm fire gay.
Yes. Like, and as long as none of those get to be like a toxic level, great. So, hey, flamers are some of my favorites. And 5 alarms. Granted, I can't take a whole lot of time.
Mind you,
But I love them. I love them all.
I do too. And this is why whenever
I don't love the bitter gay.
Whenever I go to the toy show, I always go to Flamers because it has the best food. Yeah, I made that joke.
Well, I'm glad somebody did.
Oh, but
even the failures need to be said. No, I'm kidding. No, but like that, all of that also translates into specifically around this holiday, which, like, I don't even want to get into the history of, like, St. Valentine and that bullshit. And I mean, yes, agreed, it has been contorted into this thing, but there is that social pressure. You know, that social pressure to almost have your relationship compete, as if how your partner or partners outwardly express things or publicly express things is in some way in competition with other people's, or it's necessary to have other people's
because people only feel engaged when they're in competition with others.
I only exist if you can see me.
And it's a really stupid.
Is that an Instagram issue, or is that not an Instagram specifically, but is that a social media and the new era of existence?
Yeah. Well, no, it existed even before then.
I think it very much did.
Yeah, it existed before then.
Because there was always that kind of tit for tat conversation between husband and wife. Well, Donna's husband did this. You know, kind of a thing. So does that mean Donna's husband loves Donna more? Is Donna more deserving of love? Did Donna have behavior that should be emulated?
And that's a good question, because that's exactly what it's mainly about. Is that we immediately look at it and go, well, you know, we feel significant
Your
because
phone is slow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I hear the notification come in on mine, and then it comes in on yours.
Yeah, because mine is broadcasting right now.
So. Oh, yours is like more for empathy.
Yeah.
Mine might be broadcasting. You don't know. It's just private about it. It doesn't need everyone to know.
Oh boy.
You're terrible, and wonderful, and lovely, and amazing. And I'm warning you right now. I'm not getting you any chocolate.
Good, because I don't eat chocolate.
Yeah. You eat chocolate.
Yep. What was that running joke that I've been doing for years? Somebody offered me chocolate, and I was like, I can't eat that. And they're like, why? I said, because that's cannibalism. And they looked at me, and they were like, what? Wait, what? And they were so mentally confused by that comment.
You just sit around and like,
Exactly.
You gotta understand, I was raised by a mother that, even up until recently, when she was still cognitive all the time, could not wrap her head around, because of the way she had been raised, could not wrap her head around why it's not okay to say, oh, your baby's adorable. I love little chocolate drops. Wow, Mom, no. No.
I have never heard someone say that. And that
Are you kidding?
Yes, I've never heard that.
I grew up with this, and even at like 6, 7 years old in the 80s, I knew that ain't right. You don't get to. Now, if their auntie comes around and says that about them, I have no problem. That's a them thing. All I know is my very white, very English, very Norwegian, very German mother does not need to be commenting on another person's baby's skin color. And she's like, but I was giving them a compliment. And I'm like, yeah, that's where your whiteness came into play, is that you thought it mattered. It doesn't. You do not need to comment.
But that's the whole thing. It's like, even with...
You can just say, oh, your baby is beautiful.
So
adorable.
So one of the things that irritated me about my last relationship was that, like...
And in saying that, I do think you have beautiful skin, by the way.
Thank you. But no, I was about... I
say that off camera.
I was about to say...
I don't want to get called out.
I was about to say that one of the biggest issues that I had in, like, my last relationship is that she was very much this person that felt that since she was dating a black man, she had to talk black. And
I have a problem with code switching.
Yeah, that
I code switch a lot.
You have to understand, Mouse was there, and Mouse had this expression of, what the fuck did she just say? I code switch depending on who I am around, and it's not necessarily... part of it is a survival technique. Mm-hmm.
Because I did live in the South, I learned real quick. Because when I went to college here in Pennsylvania, most of my friends were black. A lot of them were from Philadelphia. When I went to Upward Bound, when I was in high school, we had a lot of kids come from Sharon and Farrell. And they're amazing people. And I liked them a whole lot better. A lot of the kids I went to school with in Oil City.
But you see, this is what I mean. Like, when it comes to...
But I code switch as a way of saying, yes, I get you.
Yeah.
We are family at the moment.
Yeah, but that's not
what
Hannah. That's not what she was doing.
No.
She's just like
oh my gosh. She was hipping the young folks.
Yes.
Let me tell you about my boy Jesus.
Yeah.
He's going to drop some truth on y'all.
Oh my God, yes. It was so bad because she straight up went like, there was a point where she was like, oh, yeah, he's my boo. And I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? And Mouse is just like
do people
I
not
feel
realize
awkward.
BAE is poop? Bay is poop.
But,
why are you calling them poop?
But,
But then again, Winnie the Pooh.
yeah, but
Winnie means to pee. Pee and poop. That is what that bear is.
But she's like, no, this is my boo. And I'm like, no, don't say that. What are you doing?
See, I would have had a really
the thing
hard time not being in the background going, Boo Radley.
Yeah, no, you hear me the whole time thinking, my mind is constantly racing. Because she would do this randomly. And then just, feel that she had to speak Ebonics because she was, she was with a black dude.
Thank you so much for admitting Ebonics is a thing.
Yeah, Ebonics is a thing.
Okay.
However, Ebonics changes depending on where you are.
Oh, yes, it does.
Because New Yorkers have a completely, for instance, Ebonics in New York, almost everyone in New York speaks Ebonics. However, they have a completely different way of saying it, like dead ass. And I'm like, I was like, wait, is that only Mouse even told me that's a New York thing. And
what, dead ass?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like,
oh, my kid's saying it all the time.
Yeah,
I say it all the time.
Because someone you met.
Because we're a global community now. So CTFU, depending on whose Facebook I'm commenting on or whatever, whoever the recipients of me saying LOL to, because I'm lazy and old, which my kid texted me the other day. He specifically responded to a text. He's like, Mom, stop. Don't. Never say LOL again. Oh, that started it. LOLs. And then I did send him the CTFU. He thought it was shut the fuck up. And I was like, no, it's crack the fuck up. I am more likely to put CTFU on a person of color's. It's kind of like if, and I hate to say that, it almost makes me feel racist, but I don't know if it is or if I'm just trying to find common ground. Somebody that is Hispanic or Latina or a Latinx, I would put JA. But I'm not going to do that to the white lady down the street that's part of the PTA.
Who wouldn't.
She would. Did you hit a wrong key? What did they say?
But
whatever.
you see, that's the thing is
words that mean different things the different places you go.
Yeah, but
here in Northwest Pennsylvania, there is a word that only means what it means here. Everywhere else, it means something very much different. Boofer. Okay, so what comes to mind when I say that?
I don't know why I thought of a sock and bop 'em, but that's what I thought.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're thinking of the blow up sock and bop-ums. Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking of boofer. Boofer sounds like bofa. Yeah.
Boofer in just this niche area of Northwest PA means dumb white trash kind of. Oh, you're just an idiotic boofer. You're a dumbass.
I actually like
but
the
it's
name.
A white trash thing.
I like the name Boofer.
Everywhere else, and I apologize to anyone who might be more part of a global community for having used this word. I don't use this word outside of it. Like, that's honestly, I have stopped using that word 3 or 4 years ago because I never know who I'm talking to or where they're from. And if it only means that here, because everywhere else it's the same or worse as saying the N-word.
Holy
and it's like,
shit.
I have not, and it bugs me because I will slip into the code switching enough that I will drop a nigga please. I will drop a nigga please, and I don't even, like, at that time, it's got nothing to do with race. It's got everything to do with the conversation and the people I'm with, and, like, I will smack a bitch and just be like, you know better than that! It's like my kid the other day. I told him, I was like, oh no. He's like, I'm lucky you're not Hispanic. And I was like, yeah, because I don't even know where the flip-flops are.
So
and
I was
like,
raised by a Hispanic family. I know what that's like.
Yeah,
Here's the thing.
You make sure those flip-flops are gone.
Yeah.
It's like me with a wooden spoon or a Tupperware paddle.
Here's the thing that I was about to say.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's like when we went. It's like my conversation earlier when I was explaining about like.
But I've had people say that to me.
When we go to the club, like, I'm not as tangential and as judgmental as other people. I'm not. Because it everything.
But you did even so Friday night. You code switched.
Yes, because of the fact that I was around a group of friends that
That's
yeah.
Just the same as you code switch when you're hanging out with more weebs or more tech geeks.
Yes, but the thing is that it's also like, it's like I was explaining about like my one friend. I love her to death, but God fucking damn it, does she, like, when she goes places,
she's sucking up all the black from everybody else.
Yes,
and
yes, it's one of those situations, and I love her to death, but she is like, so the way I have to explain it is, you know when they...
Excuse me, I have to go hang out with my white friends for a moment.
You know Captain Planet, whenever they used to use the rings, and they summon Captain Planet, they can't use the rings while Captain Planet is there, because he has all of the rings' power. So, in the cases of this, all the black people in the room, all of our power is just sucked into her. And then we're just like, oh God, what has happened? It's out of control. And then it's bad. Like, I love this girl to death, but God damn it.
I always swallow you, son of a bitch.
She needs to bring it down to like,
oh my God.
Like all of us can reach about a 5. She becomes a 26. And
everybody always
doesn't
tells me I'm
down.
at 11.
No, she's a 26, and if she drinks, it gets worse. And then,
that's not to say that this person isn't loved and cherished in the friend group.
No, she is. It's just that, God damn.
You know, Ghost Pepper. She's a Ghost Pepper. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. You only need one.
Yeah, and then she gets out of fucking control, and then you're just like, oh God, she's drinking.
And the more you try to bring her in,
the more she jumps out of it. I'm like, oh no.
You know what? I have been that friend in some ways.
You have me and my one friend.
Super glue.
Yeah.
Fucking super glue.
Me and my one friend are over there looking like the ninjas from Naruto, like, we gotta seal it! There's
By our powers combined.
We're like, we gotta figure out a way to seal it.
You know,
it's out of
seriously,
control.
I'm surprised you didn't, look at me and be like, okay, so, bring me all the whites you can. We're gonna need all the whites!
And it's not going to work, because we tried that once before, and it just made it worse, and it overflowed.
I would imagine, personally, I feel uncomfortable in those situations, because I don't feel that I would be commenting on somebody's race. It's their behavior of, like, why you gotta be like that? I'm not asking you to,
she just
whitewash yourself.
No,
I'm just asking you to calm the fuck down.
Yeah,
what's your problem? What are you looking for? What do you have?
I was looking for my headband, but no. But I was
what
like,
one?
I had a
Oh God.
Yeah, that
You're
Naruto
not,
headband, I was like, yeah, no, we all gotta stop this. I was like, ninjas of the
Listen,
kink community,
I will,
join together.
I will push my limits pretty far for you, but I draw the line at Naruto.
I can't.
I just stopped trying to pronounce
can't.
it because every time I would say it one way, I used to have a roommate that lived with us, and
I had a
and
friend.
she would claim that I was saying it wrong no matter how.
One
It's
of,
like Sakura. Every time I say it, she tells me I'm doing it wrong, and it's like I change it every time.
they call it Sakura, but it's Sakura. That's how it's supposed to be.
I know this. I know that. I know this. I know this.
But my
I am quite upset about this. That there's a bunch of like, you are so far into being a super special. Like, I am the geekiest of the geeks, and actually, it's pronounced like this. It's like, actually, no, it's not. Actually, you're being stupid. Actually, let's just agree it's really great writing, or it's a great storyline, or whatever. None of this has to do with love or the kink community. This is just us geeking out.
Yeah, and talking
people.
about wild people that we know in the community.
I don't know anybody wild.
Like I said, she is wild.
There's no
not
ferals.
her specifically. My
not
one
me.
friend.
Not me at all. I'm boring.
I'm just gonna ignore that.
You
last
can
one.
see my eye roll. They can't.
I'm gonna ignore that last one. No,
Yeah, you did a real good job.
It just gets fucking out of fucking control sometimes with that. Like, I love her to death, but like, god damn it, it's like, and when I walked into the club on Friday, I was like, today is
Gonna be this.
No.
We're doing this today.
I was like, I'm so glad I made it. And it looks like there's a bunch of new people, and then, what you doing here? Oh no! Like, you could see the color leave my face.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
You know what though? There are times when either I don't have the spoons or whatever it is that I will stop people, and I will just be like, honey, I didn't bring that bitch today.
my one friend that I introduced you to, he walked in.
I did not bring that bitch today.
Him and his friend.
Today is not for us.
No, him and his wife walked in, saw her, and said, I gotta go. I was like, and I go, you
Wait,
ain't.
that wasn't caramel, was it?
Yeah. And they walked in, and
as soon as you said that, I was like, I can hear that coming out of his voice.
yeah,
I can hear.
he walked in.
Yep.
And he looked at it and he goes,
Zero
nope,
time. Like, nope.
gotta go.
Yep.
And then I says,
we can find another corner to hang out in.
And he looked at me and he goes, I go, dude, I need, you
Don't
can't
leave me.
Yeah, you can't leave me. He's like, fuck. I says, you're the one that brought her, right? And he goes, no, I thought you brought her. No. So she's just here? I'm like, how did the hell did she know that you were coming? He says, I didn't tell anybody.
She could feel the black.
Yeah,
the black in the forest pulled her towards
apparently,
because there was
apparently
a couple
our
of
hive
new
mind
people.
doesn't work because like
we weren't blocking it. No, that's not nice. Everybody deserves to have an environment where they can let go and let loose and all of that and stuff like that.
It's fine to let loose, but it ain't fine to go crazy.
Well, then maybe we should find this person a dom or a daddy that can reel them in.
So there's a story that goes with that after the
Convince
show.
her that she's into findomery. Find a guy
No,
that will
no,
partake,
no.
that will partake slightly in findomery, but will say, okay, but here's the thing, I'm paying you to behave.
I hate to tell you this, we just went through this with her,
Oh, all right.
and that didn't work.
It didn't work.
No, there's no way.
Well,
you have to understand something.
It was a good idea anyway.
You have to understand something. She's similar to like the nine-tailed beast in Naruto. You can't.
Oh, also,
you can't,
I've seen like 3 episodes of Naruto.
Then you know that there are tailed beasts because you've seen at least the fox.
Oh, I wasn't really paying attention. I was sitting there like, how much of this do I actually have to watch? My eyes are about to bleed. This all sucks. Every character sucks. I don't care about any of them. It was like Cowboy Bebop. It just failed.
Wow.
First episode of Cowboy Bebop, I'm sitting there like
anime
trying...
or the live action?
I didn't even bother watching the live action.
Oh my god, what? You don't even like the Cowboy Bebop anime?
I know. And this is the part where you start hating me. Because everyone reacts that way. Everyone reacts that way and lets me know just exactly how other from the group I am. Because I don't.
I love the jokes
Maybe
in
I
Cowboy.
need to get into it further.
Yeah.
But no, like
Cowboy
even the
Bebop's...
jokes fell flat. Like,
oh my god.
just everything. It made me sick to my stomach to watch it. It was bad. It was as bad as like the Pirates of the Caribbean or something. Like it was like a Pirates of the Caribbean, only it was a porn. It was really bad. But like Cowboy Bebop just fell flat for me, and I feel really shitty. And this is why I don't watch.
Oh, Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
Well,
out of respect for my friends that do
Dragon
like
Ball,
it.
Dragon
and
Ball,
that's love.
No, Dragon Ball you have an excuse
Any of them.
for.
Any of them.
Because I cannot watch the original one that came on television anymore.
Isn't it like early races?
No.
Oh, no, because Piccolo's not actually black.
You mean Namekians?
I don't know.
Namekians are slugs, actually. They're space slugs.
I don't know. I hear so much. And
But,
there's so many people so desperate not to hurt the people that they care about that they end up hurting the people they care about because they come out as woke as fuck. And it's like, listen.
that's because everybody is looking for a reason to jump up and yell about something being racist, even though the most that they have the understanding for is like a first year college course in social studies.
I feel really bad because I expect work out of my friends that are people of color. I expect work out of you.
Okay.
If there is something that's not for me, I demand that you let me know that.
See, the thing is...
and that you give me that understanding that in anything that I do, I am just trying to mesh together.
No, that is fine. No, what I'm saying is that Dragon Ball has a whole thing to it. And that's
and out of respect for the people that enjoy Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Unplugged and Dragon Ball 10 years later.
Also Sailor Moon.
Oh wait, that was MTV.
There's also Sailor Moon and the Seven Balls, but that's a different story. That's a really bad porno. Yeah.
I have another one to blow your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Never watched Inuyasha and I refuse to.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Why?
Commercial that used to run on, I think, Sci-Fi or something. And it would tick me off. It was every commercial break. It was a long-ass commercial, and the whole commercial was, Inuyasha! Yimmy, yimmy! Inuyasha! Yimmy, yimmy! Yimmy, yimmy! And it's like, I have no idea what this is, but I want it to stop.
Inuyasha is not...
So I just refuse to ever watch it.
So, Inuyasha, I watched... you want to know what got me to stop watching Inuyasha? The death of one of my favorite characters.
Really?
Yeah. It actually ruined the show for me, and I discovered that he wasn't even a character that was in the manga, and it hurt. Because he was one of the...
it was like your favorite.
Yeah.
And it's like, but he should have been there.
Yeah, and he actually is the person that came the closest to killing Inuyasha. And I was so proud. I was like, this dude...
Like, the only reason I would stop at that point is if that was the only reason I was watching the show. Yeah. And I didn't care about any of the other things.
Like, the Band of Seven were one of my favorite groups, and Bankotsu was his name, had this weapon called the Banryu. And it was, ironically, everyone said, "Oh, it's a
phone turned off." Is it supposed to do that?
No, hold on.
I don't know what we're doing. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Technical difficulties. Please stand by. Is your battery dead?
Yeah.
Still
Even though it's plugged in. Notice it says that it's 24.
It might have been off long enough that it has now gained 24% battery.
No. No, it was just on. It's just...
Yeah. Maybe 5 minutes ago. No, actually, like... my husband just told me that with the second season of The Witcher coming out, like, I binged it in one night, and I didn't mean to. But it was just that much good. Like, I really enjoyed it and liked where they were taking it and how they were twisting it. He said he started watching. He's like, I just can't. He's like, it turned into the Siri show, and I don't give a shit. I wish they would have killed her off in the beginning. And I was like, but Siri is The Witcher. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, the show's called The Witcher. You didn't think it was about this big buff guy that also played Superman. The entire point is that Siri, and that's what we learn in the second season, is Siri, sorry for spoilers if, nobody cares. Everybody's seen it at this point. Siri is The Witcher. And that's what's, like, slowly dawning on everybody. All the pieces are connecting, and all of a sudden they're like, holy shit! And Chad's like, yeah, then I don't want to watch it. This is just stupid. This is bullshit.
That's silly. It's like,
yeah.
What? Like, that's...
He's an idiot. I do have to hand it to him. He is probably the best voice, though, when it came to Game of Thrones. He made it 1.5, maybe 2 episodes in. And I think I might have made it like 6 or 7. But everybody was screaming about how great it was. And I wanted...
Game of Thrones, in my opinion, is, like, it's...
Not.
No,
it's not something I wanted to put in my head.
I made a comment. I was like, it's like sitting... Game of Thrones is very much like how when I watched that, I feel the same way as I did when I watched Gundam Wing. And I was like, where that was the... Oh, I like the politics that are in this. I like that whole conversation. But when it monopolizes the entire fucking show and there is no action, I cannot get in. I can't get into it. Like, I'm not here to sit here and watch.
I don't like the politics.
No, I'm
stuff.
not
like,
interested in it. Like, this is like, it's the difference between people that watched Xena and Hercules back in the day. It's like, you watch Hercules and you knew it was nonsense.
I'm embarrassed. Kevin Sorbo, as he exists as a person, has embarrassed me to admit that I watched. But then again, Lucy Lawless has made it all okay.
Yeah.
She made it all okay.
I love Lucy Lawless. But
yeah,
like,
you're not the only one getting in line. I will knock you on your diapered ass.
All this over Lucy Lawless. It's like...
No, okay, listen. If there's her armor involved, I'm putting a plug in it and knocking you on your diapered ass. I'll be like, Mommy's going to go to town for a couple of minutes, okay? Mommy's going to go to singing practice with her lovely friend over here, all right? So if you hear noise...
Singing practice? Oh, well, I would expect to hear that.
Now in staccato. What, you thought it only came in variations of...
No. I was laughing because I was thinking of the old Xena scream, like when she would do the... I laughed my ass out whenever she did that. I was like, she's really good at that.
Yeah, people freak out when you do that at, like, sporting events or concerts. Like, everyone's like, woo! Yeah, woo! And I'm back there like...
Yeah, because
and then, like...
Because all the
guys... They'll look at me funny. I'm like, what, you thought I should have a towel?
No. It's because whenever they do that, there's an incense of guys that grew up in the 90s that straight up think that some woman in armor is going to whoop their monkey ass all over the place. And you'd be like...
Hey! Wait. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Why?
Because I straight went to Wizard of Oz. The Flying Monkeys. I really did.
The Rock said...
I did. I went straight to the Wicked Witch and her flying monkeys and... Actually, no, I went to the second Wizard of Oz. Return to Oz. Did you ever watch Return to Oz?
Yes, I did.
Holy fuck balls.
It's like...
This is why I'm so messed up.
No.
I mean, that's not why.
I mean...
It's part of why.
I mean, the only thing that's a little bit crazier than that is probably if you actually sit down and watch The Wiz. The Wiz is...
Yeah.
A lot of people look at me when
I was very young when that came out.
Yeah, like, a lot of people look at me and they always go, wait, you didn't like The Wiz? No.
No,
No,
I'll tell
I
you what.
didn't.
No. There are
No, I
reasons,
didn't, I
and
didn't.
listen, I can understand it, but I can't. I could possibly explain it to you, but I
It's
cannot understand it for you. Just trust me when I say
as a piece
no.
as a piece of culture, like as something,
Yes.
yeah, as a piece of culture, I love it. As it actually
As an entertaining movie
it
to
is
watch
not
on-
entertaining whatsoever. It is.
So there was a question posed on Facebook the other day. Name a movie that would have been completely different if the main character wasn't white, I think it was.
Name a movie that would be completely different if the character wasn't white.
Yeah.
You want to know something?
No,
Actually,
my first one was White Men Can't Jump, and Chad, my husband says, but Wesley Snipes was the main character, and I was like, I thought Woody Harrelson was white main character, and all of a sudden I'm like, there is one instance ever in which
you don't know
he was less racist than me because I immediately gave Woody Harrelson lead, even though overall, person-wise and actor-wise, I like Wesley Snipes way better.
Which doesn't make any sense because Woody Harrelson's fucking Woody Harrelson.
He was on the cover.
Yeah,
well,
he's on the cover. Yeah,
white people sell more. Whatever.
He's the person the movie is referring to. So.
And yeah, exactly.
No, I didn't. No, that's not racism.
He says that doesn't count.
No, that's not racism.
So then he
that's
said what my second. He said
just
out
obvious
loud what
logic.
my second choice would have been.
What?
Take a guess.
Django?
No.
What?
Yeah. If the lead character had been black.
Oh, okay, had been. Okay, so not.
If the lead character had been black, name a movie that would have been completely different. Casper. No, that's not it.
I mean, fair.
There is one that resounds, and when you remember it, you're gonna kick yourself.
What movie?
My brain just went. He's like, oh, you won't have the guts to post this one. And I was like, no, honestly, I don't have the guts.
Which movie was it?
It's not called Soul Food. That's a completely different one.
Soul Plane? Or you
no.
No.
Soul Man.
The
movie that people
my
like
God.
me
So
like to
yes. Yeah.
Exists.
Yeah.
Because that movie makes me really ashamed to exist.
Double Toasted just covered that movie like a while ago. I think they covered Soul Man, and I have to watch their review.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, it is.
And like I was like, no, seriously, come on, people, please. I've tried so hard. It was so long ago.
It's just as bad.
It's not my fault.
As bad. No, because there's a movie that black people like to forget, like White Chicks. White Chicks is that movie that we're just going, why was this made? At
the same time, though, at least the Wayans are funny.
Yes, they are funny, but at the same time, it's
because yes, obviously that's going to be the first thing because they do whiteface, they do prosthetics, all of that stuff. I can kind of understand the boy in question in Soul Man. Teenage kid trying to get ahead. The options available to him in order to create this look were limited. Look at Robin Williams with Mrs. Doubtfire. It just so happened his brother did cosmetics and prosthetics. Otherwise, he wasn't getting away with that whole transformation.
That movie was funny.
It was. Now, you look at what is available to Soul Man. He did the best he could with what he had, and he did learn a lesson throughout the thing. But the lesson that most people are not taking away from it is, fuck you, that's why. In White Chicks, yes, that is acceptable. Because they are not taking advantage of a disadvantaged group
No, and
to further their advantage.
Weren't they doing it because they were trying to?
They were part of the FBI or
yeah,
some
they were.
shit.
Yeah,
they were infiltrating something.
FBI.
All I remember is, oh fuck, I forgot his name. The president from Idiocracy.
I forget his name.
All he does is he dances, and he's good. I know this is terrible. Fuck you. I'm white. It's not my fault. He is funny as fuck. I have loved him forever, and he's flaming as hell. And he's funny enough to make me do my bad black dance. Like, honey. Sorry, hi. We got way
Kindergarten Cop. Someone actually put that up there. Kindergarten Cop, the 8 Mile.
The 8 Mile. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I forget 8 Mile existed. I'd much rather watch, like, the 50 Cent movie. Isn't that the Hard Out Here for a Pimp movie?
Yeah.
It's hard out
Rambo.
here.
Ooh,
Rambo?
Yeah, Rambo would be a different movie.
Well, you never go full potato.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But
Now, how is that, though? Like, RDJ did not seem to get that much flack for doing blackface.
that's a good question. I'm not exactly. I gotta do the
And
research.
even I wasn't that offended. And, like, I don't know whether or not I'm supposed to or allowed to be offended by blackface or things like that.
You are?
Okay. Like, it hurts me. Like, but, like, RDJ, it didn't seem like...
You know why? Because it's the same... you mean in Tropic Thunder?
Yeah.
That's because... Okay, so no, there actually was...
So he was in the movie an actor that was portraying
yes.
blackface.
Yes. Because...
Okay.
Yeah, it's...
So because there was that extra step, then RDJ was completely hands off.
No, it's because... It was also because it wasn't done in this way to shame anybody. It was...
So the movies that are... There's a word that combines black and something bad. Like taking advantage of people.
Blaxploitation.
Yes, that. So the newer movies that are trying to point a finger or show the problematics of blaxploitation films from the 70s, is there a problem with them?
No.
Are they not perpetuating it?
So here's the funny thing.
And what the fuck does it have to do with love?
Here's the thing with blaxploitation films, because this is also during the same month, but blaxploitation films some of them get a pass because they did push black actors and they did get like these really really good storylines. The only problem is that the companies that were doing them were white owned. They were not black owned.
Yeah. So it's very much like kind of Spotify, where the
Yeah.
people that were doing the most work, you know,
Yeah.
or like Amazon or really any company
Yeah,
ever.
it wasn't of colored people doing it. That's what the major issue with that is. Blaxploitation films, if you actually look at them, actually did create an entire culture that blacks did go towards, because one of the things that is in black culture are martial art movies, and we absolutely love martial art movies because it was for the same reason why like Asian kung fu flicks were big at one point in time with the black community.
So what's strange though, then you look at the Japanese community, especially in like the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Japanese especially, but then Asians at large, when they were on vacation, they loved America. They loved Clint Eastwood.
Yes. Yes,
you know, and like Cowboy and John Wayne, like
but
they loved that Americana.
Do you know where those movies came from? Where the cowboy
like the
movies?
spaghetti westerns?
Yes. Do you know where they got the ideas for those from?
Some of it was Louis L'Amour, but
probably.
You're gonna say Shogun, aren't you?
Yeah. It actually is. Actually, the movies that inspired like those really good.
Two Mules for Sister Sarah came from Shogun.
Well, I was about to say.
Hang 'em High.
Well, here's one. What is it? I don't think it's not The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's one of those movies that was taken after the Seven Samurai movie, and then,
Oh, well, yeah.
yeah, and then like for instance, and there's like different like
Yeah, once they realized, oh, there's interest
in this type of
then we can switch gears and start milking this.
We'll do the Americanized version of this, and that's what you got.
And you can see that, like, if you take a bigger picture of cinematics overall, you see something like, well, why do we have all those horror movies that are clumped in together? You're not going to put Saw in the same category as Nightmare on Elm Street.
No. Because they're very, very different.
But Saw can go in with the same category as, like, The Ring.
Yes.
Saw is nothing supernatural. The Ring is. Nightmare on Elm Street would be more supernatural
than it would be to Saw, yeah.
But The Ring doesn't go with...
No.
Yeah. And it's like these time eras of how we feel about those movies. We went through a whole stage where there was horror movies, and then Scary Movie came along and said, yeah, we're going to laugh at all of these, and then there's not going to be, like... there's going to be, like, a wasteland of movies for a while. We did get Matrix set out of that, and... the cinematics were just incredible, and they really pushed the board, you know.
So, quick back to topic.
I'm sorry.
No,
yeah.
that's fine.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you is, when it comes to, like, because we did talk about the pitfalls of different relationships.
Yes.
We talked about the love, and about how love is different in our...
That's how we string it all together. Pitfalls, race relations within relationships.
Which, that is something that was
and it can be, because not only is our relationship, but your relationship with the greater black community or people of color at large, part of us, but also mine and what it's felt I'm representing. There will be people that look at it from the outside and look to you like what you're doing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And people that look at me and could say that I'm fetishizing you, which absolutely, I am so sorry. I am absolutely sick to death of people coming up to me and being like, "You down for some BBC?" No, I'm not.
No, I actually do have an issue with that myself. Because
please do not fetishize yourself.
Exactly.
You can get attention and love and all of that shit, and then later on, when we've built up a rapport and all of that, then we can talk